Hey everybody. I want to talk about your mood and how important that is to your life, how well your life is going. It seems to affect how well things will go for you in your life. Like you head off to work and you're in a bad mood, or wherever you're going, you're heading off into your day through life and you're in a bad mood, and then you start dealing with people. Your mood is reflected uh, in your behavior, like the way you respond to people. So that could affect your future really quickly, depending on who you like. You can go to a job interview, or you're trying to get a loan for whatever, in the bank, and people react kind of from their insides, their kind of gut feeling about, how you are behaving. They can kind of see your insides by looking at your face without even thinking about it. And so your mood can make your life, if you're in a bad mood and you head off into your day, it could make your future life worse. So you want to be in control of that. You want to be in control of your mood and how you feel. And recently I was thinking to myself, just thinking about, how bad I'd been feeling. And I was just thinking, what if this was how I felt all the time? What would you think about that? And I was asking myself, and if I felt that way all the time, I would say I wouldn't even want to exist. I wouldn't want to even, so I would just say no. That's enough. No. But luckily, I have plenty of experience, before, feeling so bad and everything, that I know that things aren't going to be that way all the time. You're not always going to feel that way. And another thing that I know is that I am in control of how I feel. That's all up to me, how I feel in general, my mood. Feelings come and go, like, they're partially out of your control, but then after the fact you can, you can control what you do with them. But in general, your mood is up to you, and it affects your whole life. And I think really your mood should, just in the natural state, should be kind of generally positive, and kind of like a smile, like an inward smile. When I get to a peaceful place, there's a natural smile just pops on my face when I'm in touch with whatever reality is, and not my mental state, whatever. There's a natural smile that pops on my face when I get in touch with that. I think that's generally what your experience should be like. It should be enjoyable. Your everyday existence, your everyday experience, each moment could be enjoyable. And for me, I would, prefer it to be enjoyable. So you can always take steps to kind of make sure things go that way. The ideal way to make sure that you're enjoying every moment, because I believe every moment has the same potential as every other moment, the same potential. It could be horrible, You could feel horrible. You could feel angry. You could feel joy. You could feel just peace. You could feel at ease, spontaneous. Every moment has that same exact potential, no matter what circumstances there are. You know? I'm looking at my cat. You get that? So, the ideal way to ensure your mood is generally positive is to be fully aware of yourself and how you feel. Take a little check. If you could check it continuously, that would be the best. You know, someone comes up and gets in your face. Check yourself. How do I feel? Am I getting angry? You know what I mean? That's not very positive and enjoyable kind of feeling. That's not, so then you can respond differently. If you're aware in that moment, then you can respond differently. But if you're not aware and you're just kind of reacting, you know, people are generally on autopilot. I've noticed. I think you've noticed that too. People are generally on autopilot and they go by how they're feeling inside. They react to what just happened. Their reaction is based on how their subconscious is set, their mood, you know. So if they're in a good mood for whatever reason and something unexpected happens, maybe they're more likely to respond in a favorable way, in a more positive way. Here's how I like to be. I like to expect the unexpected as you're going through life. Like if you're going to work, if I'm going to work, I like to be ready for whatever happens, because there's always things you don't expect. They're always going to happen, and these are kind of like good times to check yourself. You know, how am I feeling? Always expect an interruption. You're heading to a job interview or whatever, and you got to get there on time. You got to know that there's going to be construction work. How are you going to feel when something happens? A cop pulls you over for speeding, or, you know, how are you going to feel? You got to be, I think it's best to, if you're going to think about these things like I do, unfortunately, I catch myself daydreaming about recent events or events that never happened, like you're in an argument with someone about something. And if you're doing that on a constant basis, you're kind of setting your own mood. Like if you're driving to work thinking about yesterday's confrontation with whoever, whatever, and you're rerunning it in your mind, you're kind of setting up your mood for the day. And if your mental argument is you're animated and angry, and your mood is going to be, if something unexpected happens at that point, after all of that mental exercise, if something unexpected at that point happens, I would guess, probably most likely, you're going to respond in a negative way. So, but if you were aware, you could, if you wanted to, change that response. You could respond in a positive way. But generally, we're not fully aware all the time. We're kind of letting our life run out, letting it play out on autopilot. And so if you're doing that, if you're mentally rehashing things in your mind, you know, I would say a good idea would be to play it out in a positive way. If you catch yourself, like I do all the time, catch myself playing something out in my mind, and at first it's negative, like my feeling as I'm doing it. You can check your body and feel how you're feeling, and you know if it's negative or not. You're playing something out in mind, and you feel a tenseness, and you're negative. So you can change how you play that out in your mind. I caught myself playing that out scenario in my mind. Now I can, let's flip it, and so that it's a positive thing. Like I'm pretending I'm being pulled over by a policeman, and I have a giant smile on my face, you know, and inject that feeling, you know, and try to feel that feeling while you're thinking about that scenario. If you're gonna bother doing these mental rehashings or just imaginings, try and do it in a positive light, and that may, when you come up on an unexpected event where normally you would be upset, someone does something stupid, you know, driving rage, whatever, then maybe your first instinct, your kind of subconscious set point will be more positive, and your life will just get better and better and better. Really, the best way to do it is to be aware the whole time. Have kind of a continuous awareness of your mood. Always continually checking your mood, because that is what people react to, and that's how they feel about you. Oh, that guy's an asshole. You know? Because you're always arguing, or you're always angry, or you're pissy, or whatever. What if you had a smile on your face? What if what people kind of saw when they surprised you with some idea or some negative thing that you would normally not like? What if your inner reaction was something positive, that maybe your life would go better? Things would generally get better. But the point is, you can feel good about your life all the time. You can always feel that. That is always up to you, how you feel. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. What else? Like one time, I tried for some reason to show no expression. Like, this is not the way to go, let me tell you. I found it irksome that people were always waiting for a response from me. I guess that's how I'll put it. So I decided, well, I'm not going to give them anything. I'm just going to be a blank. I'm just going to be a blank, and then they won't take energy from me. I felt like they were sucking the life out of me with waiting for a response for whatever they said. So for about a year, I was like, kind of like a year, maybe two, trying to just be at peace and not give anybody any inkling of what was going on. And let me tell you, that did not go well. People thought I just didn't understand what they were saying. They thought I was a dunce. That guy just doesn't get it. So that's not the way to go. People need something, give them something. Give them something good. If you're going to bother giving them something, which you should, because people are just going to think you're an idiot if you don't. If you're not responsive, if they need to see some sign that you're understanding what they're saying. That's what people really want. They really, 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 really want to be understood. You want to make someone happy? Just listen to them honestly and give them an expression that you understand what they're saying. And give them some feedback. Facial expression, but they like to hear you say, they really like to hear you say, kind of repeat what they're saying so that they know you're getting it. That's not a bad thing, that's a good thing. Understanding is great. I love it when people understand what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I had this experience too. And then life, the whole interaction feels better that way. So you can change your set point as far as your mood goes, and your life will generally get better. The circumstances of your life, I believe, will get better because people will generally like you, and your interactions will go better. Avenues will open up. Whatever stuff. Life tends to flow better when you're in a better mood. So, what I've been doing really recently is asking myself, are you enjoying yourself? Because you can, even though things are hectic and people are in your face. Ask yourself, are you enjoying yourself? Because you really can if you want. It's just an experience. Like Bill Hicks said, it's a ride, it's just a ride. Enjoy it. Okay. Enjoy. Bye.